Hey, cool.
Good.
And we're
Okay,
live.
the first thing I'm gonna do is post a link inside of chat here for Zoom, a link to a workbook for today. You will be receiving access to a membership section that we're building. This will be in there, but I just thought if you feel like jumping on here and taking a look while we go through this call today, cool. Just go through, and the first thing that you're going to want to do is click on file and make yourself a copy that you can edit and make notes in. And so I thought it would be cool if we just quickly do a recap, what we talked about yesterday, where we're going for the week, and kind of what our goal for you as a part of this 5-day challenge is come Friday, basically, once we're done going through every single day here. So, yesterday we talked about your niche, your customer, who you want to work with inside of your agency as far as growth and sales goes. That's the number one thing. It's a foundational thing that I think we sometimes forget. It can be easy to just start to take anybody who comes along and trying to create different offers for them and basically just saying you can do anything they want. And it's a lot easier if we just get really clear right now on who we're going to work with, right? So yesterday's
Totally.
task was to list your Dream 100, a list of 100 businesses that you would love to work with. Um, and then some of the things to think about when you've got that list, as you're creating that list, what do these people have in common? What do these businesses seem to have in common? Is their website updated, or is it out? Is it really old? Is it mobile responsive? Do they have a website? Do the majority of them not have a website? Do they value like an online presence? Do they have a Google My Business account? Is that optimized? All of that stuff. Are they running any ads? Are they sharing any offers on social media? Are they frequently posting to social media? Some of those things you're going to start to see possibly a hole, a little gap, something that you can fill, a way that you can reach out over and over and over easily and offer the same thing over and over again in order to get quick feedback and similar feedback, right? Because
Hmm.
sometimes it's funny, sometimes the way that we present something is not what that person thinks that it is. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, or we're not clear enough, whatever. And so there's something's missing there. And so let me know if you guys have ever sent out a proposal to somebody after speaking with them, and then it was just radio silence, like totally ghosted you. If you've been there before, it's most likely just that we're not communicating to that specific type of person properly. Something that came up the other day, I was actually listening to a podcast and this came up. It was kind of funny. Does anybody remember the Thigh Master? Like from back in the day. I think it
It
was
was
like
like
in
Susan
it
something or
yeah,
whatever they
it
did it, right?
was. It was. Previous to that, it initially came out into the market called something different. It was called the V bar. And it was marketed to everyone as a full body exercise contraption.
Contraption?
Whatever, a contraption.
A
Um,
contrapment. Those damn
they
contrapments are
didn't sell
everywhere.
any. They didn't sell any. And so then they rebranded it as, just playing around with my settings here. I feel like I've got weird filters on. I don't know. They rebranded it. Suzanne Summers came out. They called it the Thigh Master. It was for, shaping your butt and your thighs for women. And then it did billions in sales. Exact same product, just different messaging, different packaging, different niching down more. And That's kind of what we're getting at here. Our goal here for you throughout this week is to give you really quick, but maybe not the easiest things. These are the things that a lot of times we don't do, we procrastinate, that will, by the end of the week, you'll be set up as an expert in that area, right? In your area. We want people coming to you, asking you how they can get the thing that you offer versus you out there sending hundreds of cold emails a day, right? Courtney says, I
Totally.
find the top reasons that it went radio silence after I sent the proposal was because number one, I wasn't talking to a decision maker, and two, I didn't talk about the money. Yep, that's great insight too, for sure. What else? So today we're going to cover your offer, your packages, your pricing. We're going to talk about that. I've got that workbook in chat for you. If you're watching on social media and you want access to these resources, make sure that you register for our 5-day challenge. And then you will receive all these extra resources that we're creating for you along the way.
I can put that in chat as
Tomorrow,
well.
I feel like I've got a list here. Where is it? So today we're going to do how to build your offer, an offer that your clients actually want, right? Day 3, we're going to dive into our AIM method, and we're going to start with the letter A, which is attract, how to attract clients to you. Jay's going to walk us through a process on how to come up with 90 pieces of content for your social media, for your website, for your ads, all of your marketing materials. Right? That's what
Yep,
you're planning on
absolutely.
doing. So that you can grab the attention of your top 100 dream customers. Day 4, which is Thursday, we're going to talk about the I inside of our AIM method, which is interest, how to really create that interest from the people that you're in front of. And then I also want to talk about something that I love called the invisible list as it's related to driving traffic and marketing. And then day 5 is M, marketing and monetizing. So how to really get out there, get those proposals out, get lots of yeses, onboarding, all of that fun stuff. Cool?
Yeah, sounds good.
Awesome. Okay, Jay, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I've just been trying to think more lately about good foot in the door offers too, because I feel like there's two different kinds of offers that we have, and I don't know if we talked about this in the workbook, but having a foot in the door offer, something that you can just get them started on before you say, hey, it's $297 a month and we're gonna do this, blah, 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 blah. But that's where you're talking about, like, do they have a website? Do they have social media? Do they have what kind of profile do they have? How are they getting customers? They built a list already, but they're not using it? What kind of offers can we create that will get your foot in the door, maybe for something for free or cheap to get them rolling, and then you bump them up to the paid plan. And the way you really do that is by offering that free or cheap service to get them started, to build trust with you, show them that you know what you're doing, and then actually say, we're going to do this for 10 days or whatever, and then we're going to move you into a full-on paid system. And that's a good way to approach businesses if you're going in completely cold to businesses. But once we start talking about content and what we can do, you can throw out those offers as well. Like, I've got a friend slash another agency owner out of Toronto, and he did a fantastic job with going into chiropractors, talking to chiropractors, and offering them pre-made social media content. And what he did was, there's places online where you can go and buy that pre-made social media content already done for chiropractors. And he had the licensing for it, where you basically just go buy it and then set it up inside a high level saying, hey, we're going to do social media content for you. It's not going to be customized. It's not going to be anything. It's going to be this. So when people go to your page, they're going to see that you guys have fresh content on there. And then he just loops it. And then while he's on the actually getting that stuff set up with the chiropractor because they're like, yeah, let's do it. That's free. That's awesome. We'll just get that rolling. Once he had them on the phone, that's where he talked to them about where are you at with your business? Do you guys need more customers? How can we help you with this thing? How can we help you with that thing? Your website needs to be updated, that kind of stuff, because he already started building trust with those customers. Now, I was just trying to think of other ways that we can do that. Database reactivation is a really good one as well. If your customers already have that list of people that they've worked with in the past, we've done tons of database reactivation for our clients, and it always results in some sort of new business for that client. Even if it's like, hey, they've got a list of 400 businesses that, or 400 people that they've worked with over the last 3 years, sending out an email, just setting it up for them. Hey, we're going to send out an email that goes to an offer page, and we'll get some people inquiring. That's just a good way to build trust and get your foot in the door with those customers. Play is also a good resource for pre-made ads, templates, and videos. And somebody said UpHex here as well. High Level just released today their new ads manager. Very, very basic system, but it's going to be cool anyways. And that's what High Level does, is like, hey, a lot of people like UpHex, and a lot of people like Play. Let's build our own system, so they have it inside of High Level. So that's going to be very interesting. So that's my only thoughts on what we're talking about today, is getting into like making your offer, figuring out who your customers are. And I will hand things back over to the Chandel, and she can go ahead.
Okay, let me just do this. Maybe what I'll do is I will share my screen and just go through this workbook. And then if there are any thoughts that come up while I'm going through this, please feel free to post in chat any questions, any ideas, thoughts, whatever, and then we can kind of chat about it. And then, like I said, this will be uploaded into our membership section, and I will have kind of shorter videos going through this and diving a bit deeper as well. So let me see here. How do I share? All right. Okay. Am I sharing the right screen?
I don't know. I think so.
Does it say your offers and packages?
It sure does.
Okay, perfect. Then you're in the right spot. I'm just gonna put chat on here. Just so that I can see that too. Okay, cool. So I want you guys to remember that when you are providing services, especially as an agency, to another business, you are in the problem removal business when you are selling. Okay. So, and another thing that I kind of find interesting that we do tend to forget is that most people, and I know that Jason, you can talk about this even more in depth, until the pain associated with a problem that you solve is greater than the pain of buying and the pain of changing, people will not change. Does that
What
make
I
sense
love?
the way that I said that?
Uh, yeah, and I always find, I always get a little bit confused when I say this phrase too. So until the pain associated with the problem that you solve is greater than the pain of buying, and the pain of changing, they will not. Absolutely. I mean, that everybody's seen that before. People wait till they hit rock bottom, or they wait till things are in desperate times before they're like, I need to change. People wait till they have a heart attack before they start exercising again. It's just the way things go, right? And yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to add to that, but yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I
So
mean, a big part of creating your offer and your packages is understanding your customer and the pain that they're going through, and then really digging into, what happens if you don't get this fixed.
Right. So there's some questions that I put here that I would love for you guys to go through and really take the time and think about this and write this stuff out, because once you have a lot of this done, creating your content, sending those emails out, all of that stuff, having conversations is a lot easier, right?
Yeah.
So why this business? Why do you care about this type of business so much? So let's say you've chosen cleaning companies, you've chosen restaurants, whatever that is. Like, why do you love this type of business? Why do you want to offer, why do you want to offer something to this type of business, right? How can you help them? What is the pain that you're removing with the offer that you're selling them? What is the outcome? What is the transformation that you're selling, right? Where are they now, and where will they be after, or like as soon as they take action and start working with you? Those are the things that we want to really get clear on.
I
And
really,
then, oh, go ahead.
oh no, one thing I really, really love is the idea of selling painkillers versus selling vitamins. A lot of people will go through their marketing and they'll set it up and they'll sell the vitamins. The vitamins are, this will make your business better. This will do this thing. We can send messages out to these customers. We can do this thing out to here. We can build you a funnel page. We can build you a landing page, whatever, but they're not being painkillers. They're not selling the painkillers, which is getting to the heart of the problem, which is what we want to dig into here. So the question you're asking, you should be asking yourself, is what you're offering, is it a painkiller or is it a vitamin for your customers? When you're selling it to them, is it something that's going to, make them feel good, or is it something that's actually going to solve their problem? If you can solve their problem, they will pay you a lot more money to solve their problem than they will to provide them with a benefit, just a vitamin.
Yeah. And always just remember that most people are very complacent. I put the I'm fine coma. Like, remember that. Like, they found a way to settle into the way that things are. And so sometimes it's just getting in front of people, relating to them, and showing them a different way, right? Showing them that another way is possible. So business is just hard. Like, what are some things that they may believe already? Like that they need to work 10 hours plus a day, right? It's kind of a badge of honor. I know in the hair industry, there's quite a few of you guys that have let me know that you want to work with salons and estheticians and med spas and stuff. Maybe not med spas as much, but a lot of those like blue collar trades type personalities, it's a badge of honor that they leave the house at 6 a.m. and they don't get home until 10 or 11 at night, and they barely eat. They don't take breaks, and they still need to do XYZ when they get home. They're used to being that busy. And that's just how they live their day, right? Maybe they just think tech is annoying and it doesn't work for them and it sucks. And word of mouth is the only way for my type of business, right? Maybe that's something else that they think. Do they think just that marketing is way too expensive, or that like digital marketers are scum? Like they really don't love hearing from another marketing agency, do they? Only big businesses can afford to offer loyalty and reward systems. Like, they see Starbucks and they see all these bigger businesses offering these things. And they just think like, well, what is that going to cost? They automatically think it's going to be way too expensive. It's just a slow time of the year is maybe something else that they just believe in their head. So they've never really done anything to try and get busier. The economy sucks might be another one. Are there any other ones that you guys can think of right now that like your perfect customer, what are things that they believe right now about the way that they do business that may not be right, but it's just what they believe?
I think
Um,
I think we've run into like tons of of things over the years from customers that we worked with, especially when we were working with fitness, and we had so many different personalities in business. You'd have people who absolutely wanted to spend money. They were like, yes, I completely see the value of marketing. Let's do it. Let's go. I'm going to throw $100 a day at ads. Let's go for it. But then you have other people who just I've been in this for years, and that's just the way it is, right? Things won't change.
Yeah.
I know there was one restaurant that we wanted to work with when we lived in Osoyoos, and they were just dead in the winter, and they were fine with it. They were just like, you know what? That's just the way it is. There's nothing we can do to change it. Even though you ask locals, you say, hey, go check out, have you guys ever been to Convivia? And they're like, Convivia, where's that? And it's a town
Yeah.
of like, we're talking about a town of like 2,500 people, right? There's like max 50 stores in the entire town. You should know where that one restaurant is. But there's people who live there for years who've never been to that restaurant and don't even know about it. But they've just accepted that, hey, no, this is the time of year and this is the way it is, and we're not going to get sales. It's just really interesting.
I'm gonna add one that was a belief that I had that really super sucked. We built a giant hair salon on one of the busiest corners of the city we were in, all glass windows everywhere. Um, Sometimes people would sit in traffic for 15 minutes there, staring at that building. And in my head, I was like, how do you not know we're here? Like, people should know we're here. Look at where we are. People did not know. Like, people don't know. They don't look when they're stuck in traffic all the time at the same thing all the time, right? Like, they don't notice what's around them.
Yeah.
And so something that you could probably say to any brick and mortar type business, ask them, how often do people ask you how long you've been here for? And how frustrating is it when you tell somebody, I've been here for 10 years? Like, how do you not know that I've been here? I've been here for 10. That is a big pain point, right? Because people will pay for a location thinking that that is their marketing. Like, there's a belief
If
that
you
they,
the whole idea of if you build it, they will come,
yeah,
kind of thing. Same thing with a website too. People still think that too. If I build a website, then I'm automatically going to get traffic to it, right? Then we're going to
yes,
get busy
that's
from the
another really
website.
good one.
That's
Yeah, like
another good one.
launch a website for them. Well, nobody's going to my website. Well, like it doesn't work that way, right? Posting is marketing. That's a great one, Courtney. Like people do think that just posting on social media is marketing. So if that is their belief, then this is what we're going to get to tomorrow: content that will teach them and give them an aha moment about that thing that will change their belief, right? So that then they're in a different frame of mind and ready to do something different. Um, so yeah, keep those coming if you guys want, but there's so many. Like once we start actually having a conversation, it's a lot easier sometimes to come up with those. So then I put step one. So what is the specific problem or struggle that your ideal customer is experiencing right now? How are they describing it in their words, right? Because like I said earlier, the way that we speak about things and the way that they think about things completely different. They think leaving a business card on a cork board at the YMCA is marketing, right? Like they
Right.
think, they think leaving, putting a business card on a table with 500 other business cards at a restaurant is marketing. And so we're way more ahead of the game as far as what is possible than what they can even imagine. So in their words, what circumstances are currently present in their lives, like really take some time and think about like what does a day look like for them if you're at the external, what does it look like what are they doing all day, what could you actually see if you put a video camera on this person. And then the internal is really important as well, like what are they thinking, what are they feeling, like are they worried about payroll, are they worried about ordering, are they worried about staffing, are they you know whatever it may be.
Absolutely.
So go in and fill those
The
out.
whole thing is to get inside your customer's head. The big thing that we mentioned yesterday, and I want you guys to remember, is that your marketing and your marketing material, your offers, everything like that is about your customer, right? It's not about you. It's not about what you would spend. It's not about what you would do. It's not about what pains and frustrations you have when thinking about that business, or hey, it'd be great if they did this thing, that's what I think that they should do. But when you're thinking about the pains and problems of those customers that you're going to approach, it's really getting into the shoes and the mindset of that customer and what are they dealing with during the day, and I don't know if you're going to go for into this, but like what's keeping them up at night too. What are they thinking about that's not letting them sleep? What are they thinking about when they wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and they can't get back to sleep because they have this one problem that is frustrating them. And I mean, there can be so many things within a business an industry. But what is it that you can help them solve? How can you take that problem away? How can you take that pain away? How can you be that painkiller?
Yeah. And when you're speaking with somebody, you can ask, like, what are things that you've tried to do in the past that didn't work for you? And this is where you're going to
Absolutely.
get a lot of these answers. Like, well, ads just don't work. Okay. Well, do you mind me asking, like, were you just boosting your posts? Or was there a strategy behind it? Or like what, a lot of people do feel like ads don't work, but it's because they've tried to do it on their own or because they've worked with maybe one other shitty marketing agency that didn't get them any results, right?
Totally.
Um, step number 2 is now to go back through these questions and write down what things will be like for them after they start working with you, after they take you up on your offer. Okay. So then what does their day look like externally? Missed call text back. Like there isn't as much phone tag going on anymore. There isn't the thought of like all the lost customers that day, whatever it may be, like their VIP list, they are doing marketing, they've got leads coming in, we're following up with them, they've increased their sales by X amount, they've hired more people to do more things. Like, what does that look like for them? What does the future look like when they're done these things? And then number 3 is what is the consequence of not solving the problem? So, does their wife think they're a total idiot because their business is not thriving? The restaurant it's sucking up all their money. Like, what is the end result? What's the consequence of not taking action and not solving this one problem that you're going to solve for them? Okay, so now the next thing here is that I want you to go through and list out 5 different services that you offer in your agency. And I'll make this like easier to look at before I upload it into the member section. But simple, service 1, service 2, all the way to 5. I would start off lowest cost all the way up to highest cost. Okay. While you're doing this, I want you to make a note beside each service what the transformation is for the client. Okay. So, for example, lead generation. What is the outcome of that, right? New clients. Like, so maybe it is like new client attraction package or lead generation package versus paid social media ads, right? Does that make sense?
Yep.
Google reviews versus like, here's a package that will help you rank higher on Google and get more customers. The outcome, new gym membership referral system, right? The online buddy system for fitness studios. This is like speaking to the referral system. Digital punch cards. What about easy rewards cards for bakeries?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
How does that sound? Anything you want to add to that?
I mean, you can do like so much more too. I mean, even with database reactivation, we are going to reach out to your customers and get you we'll get you 10 new appointments in the next 2 weeks, in the next 10 days. That kind of thing. And then, you can go into running ads and stuff for them as well. Um, Social media posting, I love that too. A lot of people want to lead with stuff like missed call text back and things like that. That sounds great to us because we have an idea of what that is. But unless you're going to explain it to your customers in a way that they would understand, when you say missed call text back to somebody, they're just like, I don't even get it.
Yeah.
Or they don't know if it's even a thing that they would want to do. So you can definitely go in and lead with those kind of things. But a great lead in for customers too is if they have a crappy website or they don't have a good website, you can help them build a website. And I mean, for fairly cheap as well. You can find tons of people inside the high level community who would be able to do that for you. We've found some really great VAs for $10 an hour who will go and create a website and stuff for you. So you can get using templates and everything, just write some copy and get them up there and get a new website set up for them. That's a really great lead in too, because some people just don't have good websites, when you're talking to them. So I think there's just a really good opportunity for what can our lead in offers be to actually grab the attention of those customers and say, hey, we can help you with these things. But then, what do we ultimately want to do to get them on to our bigger plans? The cool thing about a website, just talking about that for a second, is once you build it for them, if you build it into the high level platform, you can get them on there and get them to start paying you monthly, and they don't want to leave after they have it set up and built. It doesn't cost you a whole lot of money to get just a really simple website set up for those customers. And then that'll lead into a lot more things as well, right? So one of the things we want to do is just get out there to figure out what our kind of lead in is going to be, and then just start designing some packages around the problems you're going to solve for those customers. But initially, that's where we want to come up with those painkiller items so that that when you're talking to them, you have a good idea of what they're going through. And I think I mentioned this to a couple of people yesterday, was simply, if you haven't worked with an industry before, it does not hurt to reach out to them and say, hey, listen, I'm working on a project for such and such industry. I would love to talk to you just to get some advice from you and get some feedback on what we're putting together. It doesn't hurt to do that and reach out to businesses. And a lot of times, if you're asking people for advice, saying you're working on a new project, they'll be like, totally, yeah, okay, let's chat. And lots of times that can just lead into a sale as well. Like, hey, you know what, you mentioned that. Then you go through and ask them a bunch of questions about their business. This is a really good way to get into the mind of an actual business that you've never worked with them before, and say, hey, what can we actually do? Right? And then you get them like, what problems or frustrations are you having? Hey, if you had a piece of software that would solve this problem for you, would that be something you're interested in? Or what's your biggest sticking point right now? Where are you guys bottlenecked? Asking those kind of things from customers. And then once you find those things out, you'll have a better idea, especially if you talk to a bunch of different businesses that do that kind of thing. You'll have a really good idea of what that customer and that industry would do. Now, obviously, you're not going to get that done before today, but or before tomorrow. But it's a really good thing to think about, especially to get into the mind of a niche that you've maybe never worked with. Now, if you have 20 years corporate experience working with a specific type of business, you're going to be able to draw from that and say, hey, I know this industry inside and out. And in that case, absolutely go through this thing and fill out this form, and you'll have a really good idea of what you can talk to your customers about.
Yeah. So a really good question popped up that said, where is it here? How do you say your website sucks? That's how most people hear it, no matter how you say it. Very true. So now let's think about different ways that we can approach that. Number one is just going through and doing the research and looking to see, like, is it mobile responsive on your own? Do the forms work? Like, is there anything on there that you could change? Another thing is just a simple ask. When is the last time that you updated your website? Most people launch a website and then they just leave it. Like they
Oh
don't
yeah,
touch it. They do nothing. We've launched probably thousands of websites, Jason, right? How
lots. Yeah.
many of them come back every month and say, "Hey, I'd like to add this saying," or "I'd like to," businesses evolve. So what if you threw down an offer? What would stand out? What if it's like top 3 tips for updating your website?
Yeah, I
Do
mean,
you
you
know what
don't
I
even have
mean?
to.
Like,
Yeah, you don't even have to
or
go through and say, "Hey, your website sucks."
no,
Like Courtney said here. But if they spend
but
22,000, if you go through their website and you know what, maybe I'll provide some information on this later on too, is stuff to look for on their website, right? Do they have any call to actions? Do they have a call to action on their website? So if somebody lands on their website, is it just like a brochure, or are we actually trying to get customers, right?
yeah.
Do we have a way for them to contact people? Do they have any offers on their website? If you go through their website and you click on pages and links and stuff, do they all work or do they not?
Yeah,
If you're coming from Google, if you search up their business, are they in the map pack? Do they show up in those first 3 listings that show up there, or are they later on down the page?
yeah,
And lots of times I've noticed even if you click on their website there, it might take you to a completely different page or a thing that's not even their website. There's just lots of things that are like that. And I could tell you over the years, very few actual clients actually are like, "Hey, I'd like to update this thing on the website. I'd like to change this thing on the website." Unless we reach out to them and say, "Hey, is there stuff that you guys like, need to do? It's been a year since we launched the website. Is there anything that you guys need help with that we can update, whatever?" Um, they'll just let it ride. They don't even think about it. "Hey, we got a website. That's cool. We'll just let it go." But I mean, yeah, there's so many things that when you're actually talking to that business, and I've led with that before. "Hey, you know what? I was just on Google searching for your restaurant, and I saw that the other restaurant across town comes up with your name, but you guys don't come up. Is there a reason for that?" And actually, when I click on the website across town, there's no mention of you guys at all. So like, are you guys independent from them, or are you guys? And they're like, "Oh no, we're part of that. They just haven't fixed this and they haven't done this and they haven't done that thing." And like, "Hey, we can help you with that, right? Who can I talk to you to about that? All that kind of
yeah.
stuff."
So another question came up here, like they spent 22K on a new website that they could have gotten whatever, doesn't even matter. You don't tell them that they got screwed. That's a great client. Somebody who has spent $22,000 on a website will be a
Yeah.
great client if you can provide them some services that will actually get them leads. The number one question when somebody's got a website, if you want to talk about websites, is how much traffic are you getting to your website per month? How many of those people are filling out a form and contacting you through the website? How many inquiries do you get through that website? Would you like to change that? And then it's just probably building a funnel, like building a one offer page that you drive traffic to. That's it. And you leave the website. Like, unless they want to pay
Right.
you, unless your offer is helping somebody fix their shitty website.
I would usually include that as part of the other package, right?
Yeah.
And saying, "Hey, okay, here's the package that I'm putting together for you. Here's our offer."
Yeah.
Or
And that,
and also for an extra 3 hours of work, we'll come in and fix up your website.
yeah. And I've got that coming up here as well. So I think just list out like what are 5 things that you want to focus on offering? What are 5 things? Like, is it social media posting? Is it social media ads? Is it customer database reactivation? Is it just high level? Like,
Mhm.
what are these 5 things? Can you create packages of some sort? Pricing, I recommend having, a lower level price and, a foot in the door offer, one mid, and then one double. So whether you want to start low end or high end, use that framework. It's always good to have 3 different options. and then have fun with what you're naming these things to, right? Step 5, let's see here. Compare your products to the alternative and more expensive options. So, for example, if you're going to offer lead generation, right? You need to drive traffic somewhere. So, can you build a funnel and offer that for free and bundle it with your ads management fee? Is an example of that, right? So now you're taking a full website. They don't need that now. What is the cost of a full website? I mean, depends. But you want to kind of think about what you're offering compared to what the alternative is. So Google Ads versus just ranking higher organically on Google My Business. What is the cost difference there, right? If we can show that. Building a list that you can send text messages, MMS messages to on demand versus not being seen on social media, those organic posts that aren't being seen. What is the cost there? Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting at here. Radio, like people still pay for radio. If you're looking for clients, listen to the radio and call every single person that's running an ad on the radio. They're spending thousands of dollars on the radio. Do they have a strategy behind that? Is there a direct ROI coming in from that? What is that costing them versus just building a list that they can like message? Okay. Then, again, like you guys can go through this list. And I just saw a question come in, Ada. I'll send it out, but I also put a link to this doc inside a chat here up above. What is it costing them to not have this solution? Is there a payment plan that you can come up with? For example, sometimes we do inside of our agency, if they pay for a full year, we'll give them 2 months free. Like if they pay for a full year in advance, 2 months free, or, if they sign up for this one specific package, we'll waive the onboarding setup fee. Are there ways that you can play around with your pricing that way? So I'd love to see what you guys come up with there. Okay, bundle ideas, I kind of already said, lead generation package, sign a 6-month commitment, and then get Google reviews at no charge. It's regular $200 a month, right? Sign up for high level and get full social media content plan for free. Google My Business optimization plus reviews will set you up with missed call text back at no charge. A funnel, landing page, we always, when we're driving traffic, we'll talk more about traffic on Friday. But regular cost, minimum $1,500 for us to build a lead generation, like a landing page, opt-in, sales page, book a call page, whatever that is, with the follow-up system at no charge if we're driving traffic for you. Another really big piece of an offer that I think we really do miss a lot is the risk reversal. So no matter what, in the back of somebody's head, they're always going to be thinking, what if this doesn't work? Right? What if it's not what I thought it was? Like, what if I don't really understand what this is? What if I don't have what it takes, whether that's the time it takes to learn tech? A lot of times people will say they can't afford it or that they need to think about it. And normally they've got these types of questions going on in the back of their head. So this is why it's important to gain trust, but then also offer something, a guarantee of some sort, so that part of their mind is put to ease, right? So this is why we're seeing a lot of offers like get your first client in 30 days, or we'll give you your money back. Get your first client in 30 days, or the next month is free, and we'll keep working with you until you do get that client. These are offers that we put out there that remove that, the worry in the back of somebody's head, right? So always have some sort of guarantee. Like, after 3 months, we usually say you must sign up for 3 months with us if we're doing lead gen or anything like that, because 3 months is where the magic does happen. If after 3 months you see nothing happen, and you've provided everything we need in order to, make this work, then we will give you a full refund, like no questions asked. I've heard, with a lot of other programs, if you're getting into like coaching or online programs, a 12-month guarantee. You have 12 months to put this into action. If you show us that you've done the work and you didn't get any results, you get all of your money back. Because the longer the guarantee is for, the less amount of refunds and chargebacks that you get. And then scarcity and urgency. People will sit on the fence, and this goes for you guys, but this also goes for most of your clients when you're running offers for them. There needs to be a reason to make a decision. So ads that we run inside of our agency for fitness, for restaurants, for med spas, it doesn't even matter what industry it is. Usually there's a reason why there's a sale. And the reason for that, scarcity, there's a timeline. I'm jumping ahead. There's always got to be some kind of a timeline, or else people will just wait when there's no sense of urgency, right? So time-based, like this is where I'm saying, like, if this is a landscaping company, they want to be busy for the summer. So there's a sense of urgency to get going now so that their summer is busy, right? There's some businesses that works really well for. Fitness kind of slows down in the summer. So now would be a really good time to run something now so that they can set themselves up for success for the summer. That's a rhyme. Obviously a sale, right? A sale with a hard deadline. Numbers based. I'm onboarding 5 new restaurants this month, and I've got 2 spots left. Would you like to be one of those 2 spots? And then a bonus that goes away. This works really well inside of our agency. Lots of times we'll say, because we want to work with somebody local, we really love your business. Right now, if you sign up for this package before the end of the week, we will give you like 50% off your first month, or your onboarding and setup is no charge. If you sign up, we like fast action takers, whatever, right? Like there's always kind of like a bonus that could go away. With Power Tools, we're doing that. Every week, we kind of offer 5 spots, 5 spots for a full setup. If you purchase Power Tools LTD, you get a full setup for free. We've got 2 spots left this week. Who wants it, right? Because we're not going to keep putting it on sale. It's not something that we're going to every week put on sale and then off sale. So it's just kind of like an ongoing thing that we do, just get people off the fence and are you ready to get set up this week? If you are, cool. Like there's 2 spots left. And then your why. This is the final piece to the puzzle. And this one is really important. And this is, what I was about to start talking about a second ago. With any of the ads that we run, when I put a why in front of whatever the offer is, it does so well. And I've got clients that'll be like, Chanel, it's not our grand opening anymore, so remove that text. I'm like, yeah, but these people don't know that. And ads, our cost per lead goes way up the minute that I remove a why. We are celebrating spring. We're super excited we're celebrating. I put like we love margaritas. We're celebrating Tuesdays. Margaritas are cheaper on Tuesdays. Whatever it is, there's got to be a why, right?
I think there's a
So
book called this. I think it's a subtle art of persuasion. I think that's what it is. I've got it on the shelf here somewhere. But they did a study. They did a study for with a university, and what they found was so what they did was they basically had a copy machine set up, and they had people lined up to go and copy their term papers or whatever they were doing, and they found that if somebody just went in and said, can I butt in front of you? Everybody would say no. But if you came in and had a because, if you had a why of why you needed to butt in front of that person or get in front of that person, it doesn't even matter what it was. Um, the conversion of that went up massive, like just absolutely huge. And the thing, same thing translates for sales. Like, so for example, for if somebody came along and said, "Hey, can I get in front of you to copy my paper because I really need to copy my paper?" People will be like, yeah, sure, go ahead. Even that's what though that even that's the reason why everyone is standing there. But the same thing goes for sales. If you're doing a sale or you're doing an offer or something like that, what Chan says here is like, here is the reason why we're having the sale. If you just have a reason for it, if there's a because for that when you're creating your ads and doing that, hey, we're doing a this thing for this reason sale, people are like, okay, there's a reason for that sale. They're just not trying to get more sales, even though that's kind of like the whole thing. And most people when they go to put out sales or put out offers or something like that, what they go and they talk about is they're like, hey, 50% off this, and they don't give a reason why they're doing it, right? But if you said 50 off spring sale because it's spring, and we love spring, people are like, I love spring too. Let's do this, and
yeah,
it's just having that reason, that because just dramatically changes the offer as well.
yeah. Well, and if you don't tell them why, they will come up with a reason in their head of why. Like, and it'll be that you're trying to scam them or
Yeah.
whatever that is. They come up with a story in their own head of like, well, why are you doing 50% off this thing? Like, why would you do that? Right. And so always tell a story why. Always, 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 like whatever that may be. And that's the end of this document. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to take a look at questions. There's lots of questions rolling in. Jay, do you have any other thoughts while I'm doing this?
Oh yeah. No, so I was just answering some questions in here as well.
Oh, perfect.
Um to do with Ada just asked, how long does it take to set up reviews loyalty program? So we can maybe put it in the offer, get set up in a number of days and see results by whatever. Yeah, with reviews, you can have somebody set up in 20 minutes. If you're not setting up like A2P information, if you're just setting up a brand new account, there is going to take a little bit of time to you got to set up an email address, a domain, and if you're doing text messaging, then you're going to have to set up the A2P verification. That can take a few days just to get that rolling. A lot of people that I know in the masterminds that I'm in, they'll offer a free trial, but they don't set up a phone number for them. So get a free trial of the system, but you can send out SMS messages until you become a full customer, right? That way it's too much work to try and offer that in like a 7-day free trial. And then it's going to cost you money to set up in a 30-day trial as well. So you can be like, hey, we'll set up the phone number and stuff for you, but you got to pay the $20 fee or whatever it is to get your phone number set up in the system. So a lot of people just get them in there to test out the system and don't do it with SMS to get them started. So, if you're setting up loyalty and rewards, I think that was the question. Next question was it can just take a little bit longer because you need to come up with some of the strategy. How many points are we offering? What is the referral? Like what product are we giving away for a referral? Or loyalty points, what can they redeem? What is a promotion? That kind of thing. You can set those things up. It doesn't need to be difficult. And once you understand the business that you're working with, especially for restaurants and hair salons and retail, starting off with some kind of promotion that you can put out there easily for them, and start text messaging or messaging their list on their behalf, can be really quick. Once you start getting into like the loyalty points, it just takes a little bit longer to set up a loyalty point system. And that's true for pretty much every system that's out there. So it just takes a little bit more strategy.
Yeah, and that's why I do love just picking one type of business, right? So then how would you set up the loyalty and reward system for them? Because when you have all of that laid out, then you can really quickly duplicate that over and over and over and over
Absolutely.
and over, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely.
yeah, Jay
Um,
said with reviews, it can be in like 20 minutes when you get into referrals and loyalty. It just depends what the strategy is, right? So take some time and go through and create your offer. Like, this is a restaurant that you're going to work with, or this is a salon that you're going to work with, and this is what I propose your offer is, right? And all these key little elements, make sure that they're a piece there.
Yeah,
Um,
for example, going back to the why thing, so my friend who was working with chiropractors there who had the offer of the social media thing, he said like he put on his thing. So the way he was doing it is he'd walk into a business with a box of donuts and be like, "Hey, here is I'm bringing you guys a box of donuts. I know you guys get hit up by a lot of marketers already, but hey, do they bring you donuts? I'm bringing you donuts, and then he makes this is like a shameless way of me promoting myself. I just like to come in and meet you guys, tell you guys I'm in the neighborhood and I'd love to offer you guys something. So, and then he'd also leave a piece of paper with an offer on it that says, hey, this is our spring sale right now. We're having a spring sale and I'm setting up your like chiropractor locations with free social media, setting you up like that. So he has the why, he's bringing them something. So you have the whole idea of reciprocity. Hey, you brought us donuts.
yeah,
I want to at least chat with you. You're not just coming in and asking something for free. You're going to give us something for free as well. So you're going to give us free social media setup. And once he does that, then he starts talking to the business. Then he start talking about the business about what else. So it's just a good foot in the door, way to start a conversation and build a relationship with customers. And when you're dealing with local customers, that's really what it is. When you're talking with customers in your city that you're in or online, whatever is, you want to build a relationship with them, right? You want to have a good conversation with them, and they'll feel like they can trust you, even if they don't need your service right then. It's just a really good idea to go in and chat with them and just be friendly, and even if you don't have an offer, is just to start that conversation and that relationship, anyways.
yeah. Another really good question that just came in. Is it advisable to give something for free versus discounting because people get used to discounts, but they don't get used to free? Okay, I wanted to share this. This is a really great question. It reminds me of something that I wanted to share inside of my hair salon. We ran a promotion for quite a while, and this could relate to the website offer as well. Um, but number one, we never discounted anything in the salon. We either gave something major away for free, no charge, no strings, none of that. Um, and or we would align with other businesses and figure out a way to give things from other businesses as well, because you don't want to cheapen your brand and you want people to get used to paying you full price for what you are doing. And so the minute that you discount that, I made that mistake during COVID with the fitness studios that we worked with. Once you discount something, it's really hard to charge full price. It just is, because they're like, well, why? You could do it for cheaper before,
If
right?
you're going to discount something as part of an onboarding like special offer,
Yeah.
that is okay as long as you are very clear that the next month or when the trial ends, the thing goes up to full price.
Yeah.
So
And
you
what the
can do that,
value
but you
of
need
that
to be
is.
clear about what it is. So hey,
Yeah.
for I am giving you this the first month for half price, but at the end of this month, it is going up to the full 497. It is
Yeah.
going up to the full 297, whatever it is. And I've seen that work really well for businesses. Hey, if you want to make a decision today, absolutely, I will give it to you half price. Actually, I was talking with the other Sam Weir, who's usually on our calls as well, and he has a lot of he's done a lot of sales over the years. And one of the tips that he's used when he goes in and when he's talked to businesses, and he hasn't used it with this yet, and we were discussing how he could use it for selling high level, was basically going in and talking to the business person, whoever he's talking to, making sure they were a decision maker and saying, hey, listen, I know it doesn't cost you anything for me to be here to chat with you, but it does cost me something to be here because I'm taking time away from my other customers and I want to talk to you guys. Um, so that's cool. So could you do me a favor? If you are a decision maker, if you can make a decision on this today, I will give you $500 off, or I'll give you the first month at half price kind of thing. And if you can make that decision today, yeah, I'll give you half price for the first month. And then sometimes they'll say like, oh, well, but if I called you tomorrow, you would still give me the half price, right? Like whatever. And he's like, well, if I told you this and then tomorrow you called me and I gave you the half price offer, that would make me a liar. Do you want to work with a liar?
Yeah.
Whatever. Just a great tip of just saying, hey, you know what? Here's the reason I'm in here. If you can make a decision today, I will give you 50% off your first month. And something magical happens about that, where, then they're trying to sell themselves. But if we sign up today, we'll get the first, month or two, whatever, at 50% off. That could be a really good deal. Or I won't charge you onboarding, or whatever. So
Yeah.
doing
But
the thing around the
remember to
fastest.
say why. Remember to say why. It could just be that I really like working with people who take quick action, that make decisions quickly. Like that don't, I like working with fast action takers. This is a
Yeah.
fast action taker bonus. Whatever it may be, always have a reason why. When
And
we're
then just
talking
set the
about,
expectations too. Yeah.
yeah, when we're talking about discounting or giving services away for free, um, it's understanding how much you can give away to get somebody on board and what the lifetime value of that customer is going to be in the end, right?
Yeah.
The business that wins is a business that can understand what they can spend to get somebody on board to make money for years to come off that one customer, right? And so with our hair salon, we were like, if you hate your hair, we will cut your hair for free.
That was a great offer. That was a great
Like,
offer. So
we'll cut
if
your hair
you
for
went to
free.
somebody, if you went somewhere
Yeah.
else and they botched your haircut, which happens all the time, come
Everybody
here
hates their
and we'll
hair.
fix your hair for free.
Yeah. Like no strings, no nothing, free haircuts, right? So I knew the minute that they came in, they would have amazing service. We had an amazing follow-up system. And I knew what the average lifetime value of a client in my salon was. So could I give away $100 haircut? Yeah, all day long. Because usually they would come in and you'd be coloring their hair, booking them in for more services. Oh, we've got like all these other things we can offer you. So yeah, we spent money on marketing and we said, if your hair sucks, we'll cut your hair for free. Right? I was told people don't value free as much as a discount because then they know the value and they're getting a deal. I disagree. I just think it needs to be structured the right way. A discount, I find a giveaway a lot easier as long as people understand what the value of that is, right? If you're like, hey, this is valued at this, and right now you can get it for free. Discounting all the time, then you're showing up kind of as a cheaper brand, right?
I mean, that can work into people's favors too, but you need to make sure you're covering your cost with it. It's just not discounting it for the sake of discounting it. The idea, I'm still going to come back to it. You are fine to offer something for free as long as you're not going to lose money on it. and like significantly lose money on it. And because you can have a loss leader. That's absolutely fine. People do that all the time. You know, a loss leader, we're going to set up a loss leader. I will set that's so that, hey, I'll set up your social media posting for you for free for this chiropractor, you know, with images that I already have. It's not going to cost me anything other than an hour of my time. And I'm going to have a conversation with the chiropractor at the same time that I'm setting that up. You know, so not a big deal to offer that is for free. They're gonna like it. I do like the idea. I do feel very strong about the idea of people need to have skin in the game. You know, they should pay something, whether it's time, energy, money, or something to in order to get that thing for free. So if you're doing a free trial and getting people on there, you want to make sure that they are onboarded, they spend the time, they get set up, and they're using the system as part of their free trial, right? That's where their energy is going to come in so that they're not just going to sit around and say, oh, we got it for free. I don't know. I didn't use it. That happens
Yeah,
so many times. You know,
it
but
does.
that's where you need to have a good onboarding system. Some of the agencies that I've worked with, really what they do is just have a really good onboarding system. And when somebody comes on that free trial, they have them calling right away, being like, okay, let's get you set up, let's get you onboarded, you know, and they're following up with them over those 7 days to make sure that they're actually using the system and they can answer any of those questions so that they make sure that they stay on there. Because if they don't, then people will just leave it and they're like, oh, I didn't really get a chance to use it, you know, and then they'll just walk away from it because they didn't pay anything to use it. They didn't pay anything to get in there.
Yeah.
And, you know, they just didn't find the time. So if you are going to discount again, not a big deal, but just set the terms of what that discount is. Hey, I'm giving this to you for 50% off for the next 2 months. After 2 months, it's going to go up to our regular price, which is this price, right? Just so you set the expectations of it, and then you know what that works. I don't know if 2 months is a good idea for a trial, but or like 50% off, but I've seen that work with different agencies. And I've seen it work, especially when you're selling SaaS, or you just want to get people onboarded onto the system. But it really depends on where you're going. All right, I
Yeah,
gotta pick up a kid.
like
Thanks for the
if
amazing support today.
yeah,
I'm going to work on the homework tonight. All
I
right.
think it's okay if but I would almost structure it. I would take a look at that workbook and come up with some packages where, this is what I'm pricing each thing at. Everything all together works out to $3,000 a month. But if you purchase this bundle, then it's $2,500 a month. Like we've done that. So
Yeah.
it's all about playing with the pricing. So if you wanted to um go and do some of the work, then we can take a look with you and give you
Yeah, we
any
can we can
feedback
chat
that
about
you
that tomorrow
want,
for sure.
for sure. Because it's all about the way that you present it and the way that you structure it, you know?
And then
But
after that, it'll be what does the market think? You know, when you actually
yeah,
go out and talk to customers, are they receptive to it? You know,
yeah,
that's what you're gonna
that's
find out.
right. Yeah, for sure. A question came in from Miguel. Wouldn't people take advantage of the free haircut and say they hated it just to get a free haircut?
Nah.
I had confidence in my team that they weren't that like we had a very high end hair salon. And yeah, of course you're gonna get the odd with any promotion, you're gonna get the odd somebody who's trying to take advantage, but for the majority, like it benefits a business to create an offer that stands out that not every other business will do, that they're
You know,
scared to do,
for the
right?
most part, people want to do good and they don't want to screw over a business. You know, they don't want to screw
No.
somebody over. So, like, let's say you got 100 people in, 100 new clients in off of the "we'll fix your bad hair." If you went to another hair salon and they wrecked your hair, we'll fix it for you. You know, that was the offer, and almost every single one of those people who came in became a client. They stuck around, they
Yeah.
became a client. They spent thousands of dollars over the years as a client in exchange for that, $100 haircut. And that $100
Yeah.
haircut doesn't even cost you $100 as a salon owner
No.
because you're just whether you're paying staff or you're doing it yourself, maybe it's going to cost you 40 bucks or 50 bucks, maybe
But
do
usually,
that.
like I said, the goal was to have them booked in for more services, buying retail, leaving and telling their friends,
Oh yeah,
right? So what is,
you've got a whole
yeah,
system for getting them to buy hundreds of dollars of retail before they leave.
yeah. And again, it was just understanding the problem that those clients have. So as an agency owner, if you're working with any type of business, it's understanding this stuff. And we can chat about any type of industry that you guys want, but this is a really good example of that. Like if you're a woman and you've gone to get a haircut, you know how awkward that can be if you absolutely did not like what they did. That stylist is probably willing to fix it for you at no charge. But do you actually want to go back there? No. Do
Well,
you want to have to go and spend
there's
another $100 to get it fixed somewhere else? No. And it's a problem that most people have when it comes to their hair, right? If they don't have a stylist that they love and they're trying to find someone that like they're where they belong with a stylist, that's a problem. So it's understanding who that person is and what's there. They don't want to call that salon and say, hey, I need this fixed. It's crooked or it's not working for me or whatever the case may be, right? And so we threw that out there and we attracted amazing people who were just like, you understand, you get me, right?
well, so many, and that's why we also had, I mean, with the hair salon too, is we had our front desk calling people every single day. Everybody who was in the day before got a phone call to make sure that they were happy with their hair. And it wasn't from the stylist who did it, it was from another person who wasn't their stylist, so that the person could feel confident about telling that person that they didn't like their hair.
Yeah.
That was just another thing, right? Because people don't want to
Mhm.
tell the stylist themselves that they did a bad job, because nobody wants to tell somebody they did a bad job for the most part, right? Oh, you tried really hard, thanks, but I don't like it at all and it looks horrible.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But they're happy to tell, our
Yeah.
receptionist at the front desk that I'm actually not really happy with my hair and this is crooked and I didn't like this. And then our receptionist could be like, okay, cool. Well, we'll get you booked back in and we'll get you fixed like tomorrow, you know,
Yeah.
kind of thing. But most
Totally.
salons won't do that. Most businesses won't do that because they're scared of hearing something bad about,
Yeah.
something that they did. And then because we were offering that, those people are out there looking for somewhere to get their hair fixed.
Yeah. For sure. So, I mean,
That's just a whole offer idea, psychology kind of thing
it is.
for whatever.
But customers and clients won't come and openly most of the time tell you that they were unhappy with their service, right? And so I think that that's a really good, that's to me with high level, that was my first love with high level was that the reviews, right? Asking for reviews and following up with customers and keeping customers happy. That's what high level is to me, right? So
Mhm.
with any type of business, how can we do that? That is the offer. And I think as a business owner, things fall through the things slip through the cracks. They just do. You're busy. People won't come to you and tell you on their own. The phone does ring and it's not answered sometimes. That's just life. And so all these different solutions, just little micro pieces of it, I would start off with that on your list. Like, what is it? What is the outcome for that business? What can you charge for it? Remembering what is one customer worth? The lifetime value of one customer. Now, what about one happy customer that's going to give you referrals, right? That's going to come back more often because you're following up more often. Like that's where we're going to create that value, and show that it's actually worth like 10 times more what you're asking to charge, right? Customer database reactivation, like what is one service worth? What is one customer worth? Right? So I'm excited to see what you guys come up with for pricing. Again, feel free to post inside of the group or just send us a message and let us know you know, if you're stuck somewhere, a
Yeah.
big part of this is just for us to help you really move forward this week. Like, don't get hung up on all the little things. That's your brain trying to keep you safe, right? Just get it out on paper and let's get ready for tomorrow so that we can actually start marketing what you have to offer. Let's see if there's any other questions here. Ba, ba, ba.
Cool.
Think, Ada, I see a question in here from you, but I feel like that's probably something that I'll just send you a message about. Give some guidance on how we can find experts for creating an offer around ads as well with retargeting. That's us. We can help you with all of that. I can create ads, but an expert will have a better understanding for how to create solid ad strategy. Yep, we're gonna talk about all of that on Friday. That's what I do all day, every day. So I can help you with all of that stuff. Do we set their account for ads or do we run it for them? I think, yeah, we'll tackle that on Friday, on our marketing day on Friday, all around ads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Onboarding, ads, all of that. That's where we're headed this week. So for today, just, yeah, a few simple offers, come up with those. And then tomorrow we'll be on the same bat time, same bat place.
Bad channel. Bad channel. Okay, you guys. I appreciate you
Okay.
guys being on here. And we'll get all the information out in the docs as well. Shannon will send that out right away too. So we're excited about that. Again, appreciate you guys being on here and excited for day 3 tomorrow, where I'm going to go over
Let's
some
go.
ideas about generating a ton of content. And we're going to talk about the idea of the A method here. So the attract phase of the A method, which is all around creating content and running some ads. So we'll talk to you guys about that tomorrow. Excited for you guys to be on here. And if you guys have any questions, like usual, just shoot us a message. All right. Take care, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.